Chicago basketball is legendary.
It was another violent and deadly weekend here in Chicago.
Chicago used to produce all the best players.
City Hall convening an emergency session.
Chicago basketball is freedom.
With Chicago, how do we get back up?
I mean, you have to be tough to live here.
There's a lot of negative things in a lot of the communities.
Even if you don't want to be tough, you have to.
But a lot of guys utilize basketball as an escape.
They're not playing on the playground anymore. It's just too dangerous.
Chicago basketball is a culture and a lifestyle.
When you talk about basketball, forget everywhere else, it's Chicago, and that's all we got.
Well, the city of Chicago, basketball means a lot to them. It's such a part of their life.
We got a lot to prove out here. Other cities, LA got the cuteness to them. New York got all the razzle-dazzle, but Chicago, we trying to give it to you. We gonna show we stronger than you and we work out more than you. So we known as the blue-collar workers that's better than everybody though.
Basketball is like the hood's greatest pastime. We just had 100 shootings over the weekend, but these gyms are a safe haven. This is about saving lives.
So the basketball really served as therapy. We can go play. We didn't need anybody. Forget that. We can go do what we needed to do. But then consequently, what happened too was that we were able to define ourselves through the game. The basketball culture, I think it'll take care of itself, honestly, if we get a handle on what's going on out here in the streets.
Chicago basketball has some of the greatest players anywhere.
There's guys on teams that's really, really good and actually may not even go to college.
If you want to make it, you got to put in time. Get tough early. You got to take what's yours out here because nothing is given.
If you don't believe in yourself, you're not really fighting for your dream.
I'll tell you, man, I'm so proud of Will because I watched his plight and just the determination. You hit one wall, boom, move over. Hit another wall, he moves over. And to me, he exemplifies what Chicago basketball is all about.
It's a mentality that comes from living in hard circumstances and hard environments. It's something that makes us more mentally tough, but we're able to deal with tougher situations and excel when it's chaos.
One time when I was playing with New Jersey and Will was with Detroit, he was playing behind Rodney Stuckey. He's going on through the season, wasn't getting a lot of playing time. I told him, say, Will, look, this is a process. You have to be ready when your number's called. Rodney Stuckey go down with an injury, and now he's the starting guard. And then after that season, he gets a big contract.
I mean, basketball is life here. Somebody from the outside looking in may think that it's simple, but it's not that simple. It's drugs, it's girls, it's violence, it's being misguided. You're talking about a young boy trying to become a man who don't know the difference between right or wrong, who's learning during the process and having to make an adult decision at that time. That's not fair.
Sonny Parker, who is still an icon here in Chicago, had free clinics every Saturday that I went to. So it was people like him that shaped people like me.
What I've always tried to have a personal relationship with the guys beyond basketball. I've never talked to Jabari about the NBA. Talking to him, making sure that he's doing well as a person. He said, Dad, basketball is what I do. It's not who I am. It does not define the type of person I am. I said, you're right, son.
In my neighborhood, you got the young blacks who want to make it. Every day I'm in the gym. Every day I'm going over the same stuff. The same stuff is repetition. You want the best for a family member just like you want the best for a teammate. How hard can you push yourself, or how far can you go, or how much can you stand? To live in Chicago means toughness and strength. I am Chicago.
Saeed was a kid I adored.
Saeed was one of the hardest working kids that's been in this program.
Saeed used to come to my workouts all the time, and if he walked in the gym or walked into a place, you knew that he was there. I mean, the smile, the laughter, the joy.
Wow, Saeed was a little rough. He would get under my skin a little bit. But he had the cutest smile. It's just like you couldn't be upset with him. He wasn't so talented and so tall. Saeed was just always a hard worker.
He was a kid who was just determined that he was going to play basketball and he was going to do it his way. After he graduated, he ended up going to Governor State for a year, and then he ended up going to college out in California.
He just kind of felt like he wanted to explore because he was thinking like, oh, well, maybe I can find me a school out here. So it was Wednesday, June 8th. He texted me to ask me to send him this photo of himself. And so I just started sending him different photos because it wasn't the one he was asking. I finally found the photo and I sent it to him. And so he sent me this text message like, you know you clutch, and we know clutch in basketball, you know, you come through, right? So after that, I just started like looking through his photos. And I'm thinking because it's his birthday and I'm just excited, right? And so I text Saeed at 2:11 Chicago time. So it was 12:11 California time to wish him a happy birthday. And he responded, thank you and things like that. And I wanted to call him, but I didn't because I figured he's out, you know, with his friends because he's turning 20 and he's excited. And 4 hours after, my phone rang and it was a California number. It was one of the worst calls. Oh God. Sorry. It was his cousin and he was screaming through the phone, I don't believe they did this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then he goes, they killed Saeed. Like, what? Today is his birthday. Like, what do you mean? And then he goes, the worst thing I've ever heard. He's just in the back seat, dead. I said, no, this is impossible. I sacrificed my life to ensure that my children would not get caught up in the inner city of Chicago with gangs and drugs. That's one of the reasons why I took them everywhere, right? I sheltered them so that something like what happened to him wouldn't. I don't want to live in fear. I don't want my children living in fear. But we have to take our time and heal however that is. There are no reset buttons. I can't take it back.
My sons use this term, F.I.N.A.O, and that came from him.
Failure is not an option. We know that has been around for a long time, but he was talking about F.I.N.A.O and kind of creating a movement and just saying, okay, well, failure is not an option. So no matter what happens, what's going on, we have to live by that. No matter what, we're gonna press. We're gonna push through it.
A lot of our kids still follow that to today. You know, and a lot of people around the city follow that to today. And if you on their Twitter pages and Instagram, they hashtag that all the time, that failure is not an option. And that should be the word for Chicago.
To be able to touch so many people and to have them grab hold to something and believe it, right? And then share it, that's leadership. Wow. Oh my God. Look at this shoe. It's so lively and colorful, like Saeed.
Basketball is life. You know, you just take it in 4 quarters.
If you're a Chicago basketball player, you have it in your veins where, you know, you're gonna grind it out and you're gonna push through. And I don't give a damn who's in your way, you're gonna figure out how to get it done.
No matter how violent it is in the city, for those 4 or 5 hours, it's a complete joy for everybody to be under one roof and be able to get along.
Basketball culture brings communities together, brings people together.
Where you are right now doesn't speak for your tomorrow. It's a stepping stone.
Give kids some kind of hope and goal that, you know, they can dream and be the next Scottie Pippen or the next Michael Jordan. They can have hope and look down the road and believe they can be somebody instead of not knowing whether or not they're going to be alive.